Hey, good to see you. I'm Alex Pearl. You probably already knew that. And today we're going to talk about a fragrance called Atmysphere. There were a bunch of my early videos that got messed up after I uploaded them to YouTube, so thanks to my friend Judy for letting me know that that was a thing so I could go back and correct it. Thank you, Judy. As a side note, before we start digging into it, the fragrance is spelled a bit unusually, and there are some people that pronounce it atmosphere, and there's some people that pronounce it Atmysphere, and the latter just seems kind of clunky to me and weird and unnatural, so I'm just going to be saying Atmysphere. So anyway, Atmysphere was launched back in 2012, and it was distributed by a company called Atmysphere Scents. The juice was crafted by the French house of Sozio, but the man behind Atmysphere Scents and Atmysphere the fragrance was a guy named Sam Boyer, and he's a fellow Midwesterner. Oh my gosh! So both the concentration of my bottle and the batch code are unlisted, so I don't know if this is an EDP or an EDT or what, and there was such a limited number of bottles made that it's like batch smash, who cares? Atmysphere was a real anomaly in that it seemed to get a lot of attention back when it was launched in 2012, but then it just disappeared, and so did the company Atmysphere Scents. It looks like Atmysphere Scents only released the one fragrance, which it's too bad, because I'm really into this. It was good. Apparently, Sam Boyer had a very specific vision for Atmysphere. He wanted to make something that would be like a romantic fragrance for men, which is a cool idea, and he really nailed it. But I think that this is something that anybody could comfortably wear. In the process of making it, Sam created something that was sweet and warm, and also like had facets of like greenery. It's a little bit clean, it's cozy, all at the same time, which is very cool. Everything that it does with purpose and confidence. Nothing feels clashy, nothing feels out of place. Each of the elements fall into place harmoniously, and I appreciate that. All right, let's take a look at the packaging. The box is simple, but the graphic design is really sharp. I appreciate the typeface and the way that the spare imagery and the use of negative space evokes a mood. It's giving me mystique. And if you know me, then you know that I fucking love mystique. Which is too bad, because I'm so campy and oversharey that, like, I have no natural mystique, none. I couldn't conjure that up if I tried. Again, the bottle design is simple, but it's well executed. The bottle fits comfortably into your hand, it's not clumsy to grip or to spray. The atomizer is a good quality. You get a nice fine mist. I love that. And I do want to warn you all about a couple of different things. First of all, bottle shock. When I first opened my box up and I sprayed it for the first couple of times, I remember that it did not register at all. It was almost completely transparent. However, the next day, it was totally fine. If that happens to you, don't sweat it. It's just a thing. Also, number two, the first time that I ever sprayed it, it leaked all over my floor. I'm really glad that I was in my kitchen, so it was easy to clean up. But like a tablespoon of the juice just poured out onto my kitchen floor, and that was a surprise, so heads up, your bottle may pee on you. And I also wanted to let you know that that only happened once. It was only the first time that I sprayed it that it tinkled on the floor. That's never happened since. So how about that scent, though? Let's talk about the accords as I smell them. Immediately I get sweet, I get flora, specifically rose, I get fruit, both berries and pitted fruit, I get plenty of green, white musk, I get amber, aromatic, warm spice, wood, smoke, and citrus. And as far as the notes as I smell them, I get mixed berries, like raspberry and blackberry. This is actually one of my favorite berry fragrances. I do get plum, and it is strong, but it's only strong initially. It's not super strong and sweet throughout the whole run. More on that later. I do get a little bit of vanilla as a support. Patchouli, and the patchouli is warm and smoky. It is not dirty or sweaty. Yeah. I do get geranium. I get this nice schnapp of green. There's plenty of clove warming everything up. I do get some lavender. I get plenty of amber. A little bit of, you might say, anise or anise, or just don't say anus. I do get some fluffy, fuzzy white musk. Tobacco. It's not like gross, or it doesn't smell like cigarette smoky tobacco. It's warm and rich, and I like that. There is a little bit of cedar, there's a little bit of vetiver, there's a little bit of bergamot in the opening, but you don't get much citrus. So what is it that comes to mind when I smell Atmysphere? Right away, the words that come to mind are warm and inviting. Like I said earlier, although Atmysphere was crafted with men in mind, anybody could wear this, because the kind of person that comes to mind for me is just a well-rounded person. Do you know what I mean? Like somebody with like a wide depth and breadth of experience under their belt. Atmysphere is complex. It is layered, it is multifaceted, it's well constructed, it's well balanced, it's quite cozy, and I think of the colors pink and green sort of swirling together, and they're mixed with smoke. So how about those ratings, right? As far as scent goes, Atmysphere gets an easy A. It might open up super sweet, but it dries down to something much more even and balanced after about 10 minutes worth of wear. So initially you get this big pop of like sugary plum and wild berries and this sweet pink Bulgarian rose. And this is all paired with citrus, which is good because citrus and berries pair very well together. Think of how well blueberry couples with lemon, or like cranberry and orange, you know what I mean. And that initial wave of sweetness, that's nice and all, but it's when Atmysphere starts to dry down that it really shines. Atmysphere is at its best when the warmer elements, like the amber, the tobacco, the patchouli, the clove, all of that starts to come to the forefront. And those warmer elements balance out the sweetness of that initial burst with this steady, almost like electric hum of greenery that pulls it all together, and I really enjoy it. I think it's an outstanding composition. As far as projection goes, I'm going to give Atmysphere a C-. Atmysphere was designed for things like a date night or an intimate moment, so it really only projects within an arm's reach, and it does so intentionally. It talks to you, it doesn't shout at you, which is too bad, because I kind of wish that everything would shout. And for longevity, I'm also going to give Atmysphere a C-. It usually lasts about 3 to 4 hours before it benefits from a touch-up. But Atmysphere does benefit from this in that it's best at the tail end of the day with all of those layers of reapplication, of the sweetness coming back whenever you reapply against layer after layer after layer of that satisfying dry down. So by the time you're curling up to sleep, oh my god, it is incredible. Overall, I'm gonna give Atmysphere a B. The smell of Atmysphere is fantastic. But the longevity and the projection are a little bit modest, at least for me. Again, I get it, this was made for romantic encounters. It's not supposed to go off like a bomb, but I love that! I'm weird, I'm sorry, but for normal people, it's gonna project just fine. And the big question, would I buy it again? Probably no. Because Atmysphere had a limited run, and it was produced over 10 years ago, there isn't much of it left to find. And by the time my bottle runs out, it's going to be even harder to find. I've seen sealed bottles of Atmysphere selling for $100 or more, and that's just too much for what it is. I'm not willing to pay those prices. I don't know, maybe if it performed a bit better, if it was like louder, then maybe it could justify that kind of price tag. But as it is, I'm probably not going to buy another bottle. This is probably going to be it, so I'm just going to enjoy what I have. Closing thoughts. I just wanted to say again, what a damn shame it is that Atmysphere was just here and gone. It vanished way too quickly. Sam Boye had a solid concept. It was executed well. I just wish that it would have been given a greater amount of time to find its audience. I feel like this could easily still be in production today, and if it was, it would be super popular. And I also wish I could have seen where would his creativity have gone? What else would he have created? It's sad to me that we'll never know. It is too bad that this was the only one fragrance that Atmysphere Scents ever released, but I'm still glad that they made it at all, that this happened in the first place. If you're a fan of sweetness and warmth, and if you've got the budget for it, then Atmysphere may just be for you. But no, I'm too broke, so I'm gonna call it a day. Still, I love the stuff. Anyway, thank you for watching, thank you for joining me again. I love you, have fun out there, and good night. Of course, there's a garbage truck right when I'm recording because, I don't know, because it suits me. Atmysphere was designed for things like date night and girl.